Usually. Do yourself.
Yeah. Wow.
Here's the agendas, we got 3 people. I said agendas, yeah. You guys don't have them. Let me go grab You're there, okay. In here. Like this. Oh, last. Nice to meet you. Yes. I think they are testing.
Yes. Anyone. He really does a great job.
Okay, so I'll leave it all. Prepares. Very.
Alright,
Yes.
5:30, let's call the meeting to order. We can do roll call, please. I'll do roll call.
Wait, Jay, actually, Jay, Jay just shot. Absence.
Here,
Oh, Jay just not present. Remotely. Laura Baluch,
Here.
Brad Hugland,
Here.
Dane Mead,
Here.
Melissa Smith,
Here.
Brian Swanson,
Here.
George Wakeman.
Here.
And our full time here.
All right, very. Did everybody get a copy of the minutes from the December 13th, 2023 meeting?
Yes.
Can I get a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
All in favor? Or do we do a roll
You
call?
can do a voice vote, that's fine.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
aye,
All right, very good. So the meeting minutes from the December 13th, 2023 meeting are approved.
You can read the motion, Brian, check out, read the motion to approve.
Ryan?
I did
All right,
first. Second.
Brian Swanson first.
All right, Dane Mead second, thank you. We also, many other new things, we also have a new agenda system we're using, which is what will send you your agendas on and your meeting packets on, so I'm doing those as we go, so we're doing all sorts of new things as we go here, so I'm just gonna mark everybody.
Awesome. Technology is great.
All
right. Moving on to new business. First thing on the agenda is the introduction of Vanderwall and Associates, Inc. You could come forward, please.
Sure. I'm gonna point you up there. You can just come up here if you like, or.
I didn't see the name tags are flipped down. I'll just come right up.
Okay, that's fine. So first of all, I'll say welcome, all the ZBA members here. I know most of you, I've met most of you, I've taken over your position here, at this point, village administrator. Obviously Scott's gone, this is our first meeting since then. What we've, done in the interim here, we've, contacted and worked out an agreement with Vanderwall Associates to serve as that zoning administration services. They'll be acting as our village zoning administrator. I'm gonna have them introduce themselves to you, and tell a little about what you guys do, who you are, and then maybe if there's any questions, we can talk about questions and procedures and just sort of go over whatever we want to discuss with that. So.
Great, I'll start us off. Good evening, my name is Jackie Mish. I'm the lead associate planner with Vanderwall and Associates. Elias and I are both based out of our Milwaukee office, but our office is based in Madison, Wisconsin. We're a full service planning and economic development firm. And so we provide services such as zoning administration, redevelopment services, real estate. We kind of have experience with the whole development process. And so by working with us, you'll have access to the two of us, but as well as needed, all of the principals and designers and experts that work for us as well. So I think you'll be in good hands with a lot of different experience levels, as well as the general day-to-day attentiveness you can get from a single person. Elias, I'll let you introduce yourself, but he'll be kind of your primary contact day-to-day.
Yes, and so as Jackie just said, my name is Elias Barelzis. I'm an assistant planner with Vanderwall and Associates, and I'll be acting as the day-to-day zoning administrator for the village. I, according to a contract, have set up two-hour windows on Tuesdays and Thursdays where I'll be available on call to set up meetings, field general inquiries, and engage in discussions with community members, development community, residents, anyone who has questions and needs to set up a meeting to discuss any matter related to zoning administration. I'll be responsible for day-to-day permitting, putting together zoning board of appeals packet materials, ensuring that we have a solid process for development review month to month, ensuring that we get all the required steps in terms of public notifications that are required per state statute, as well as just ensuring that we have a solid process sort of at a staff level and create reports for you, and ensure that agendas are all set and ready to go, and then sort of help with day-to-day zoning administration as needed.
And I think in your packets, I did provide the proposal they put together, which really just outline the whole scope of services and types of services that they provide. So the board also, our village board also has. I guess, are there any general questions from board members here, how this works, or what to expect, or what they're going to do, or who they are, or feel free to ask any questions you may have. I think they might have.
Just on the staff recommendation, in the past, we had staff recommendations. So will you guys be doing that, or will it be more just the village administrator, or how does that work?
We'd be preparing a staff report on each item with the staff recommendation in most situations, yes.
A lot of times people just probably walk in, being a small town and whatnot, like to walk in and see someone face to face. So you said you set up meetings a couple hours, Tuesdays and Thursdays?
Correct. Yep, a couple of 2-hour windows. So during that time, I'm still kind of working out coordination with Janelle, but we'll definitely have those windows available, whether or not she'll be the one to do initial scheduling during that period of time, or whether I'll just have her kick people over to me and then set a meeting.
So if someone stops in,
There'll always be a person here to talk to that person. Usually it's gonna be Janelle. The issue we've had all previously, and what we've started to do starting this year is that, yep, Janelle's there answering some of those initial questions. Yep, here's the application you need. But then for anything more in depth, we've been requesting that they set up an appointment to come in. So some of the drop-ins, and the issue we were sort of having, some of those drop-ins, it's great to say, yep, sure, it's gonna be quick. They're never quick. And then you just ends up getting, they're just off track, and it doesn't help them, because if we're in a hurry, if we're, missing something, or we're working on somebody else's project. So we've been doing that, starting to do that anyway. We're set up appointments with people. They have more appointments than just those one times, but that's when they're essentially on call. That's when their blocks are gonna be, if they need to be outside of time, we can work with them on those. But yeah, there will be somebody here. Janelle is our administrative assistant permitting clerk at this point. We sort of moved her role around. So she's very familiar with her processes. She'll be the ones in contact with our Vanderwall folks, with Elias primarily. And she'll be able to answer those sort of initial questions. But as soon as we get any farther than, here's the process for it, here's what you need to apply for, here's the general information we need. We're always gonna want to have those appointments set up anyway. That will help all the village staff out, getting those appointments rather than just yep, we're gonna drop in and now I'm gonna talk to you for an hour. So we're trying to work through those, but yeah. So there will always be somebody available, but generally they will eventually have an appointment with somebody.
And you guys are based in Wisconsin,
That's right, correct.
and so, and Joe, you'll still be doing all the legal,
Yes.
any legal questions that there are will go through you, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are your background? Why don't you, I think you mentioned that before, your sort of your backgrounds.
Sure. So, I grew up in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, and, got a degree in history and Spanish at UW-Madison. And worked there for a few years and then went back to school for a master's degree in urban and regional planning at UW-Madison. I just finished 10 years with Vanderwall and Associates, started in their Madison office for about 5 years, and I've been in the Milwaukee office for the last half of my career with them. I'm now the lead associate with the firm, so helping to train other assistant planners like Elias and other new planners in this role. I work on a variety of different projects, so includes redevelopment planning, comprehensive plans, park plans. And I also serve as kind of the zoning administrator current planning for 2 other communities in southern Wisconsin. And so I'll be helping Elias with this role. But again, he'll be kind of your point person.
Yeah, and I'm from Jefferson, Wisconsin, small town halfway between Madison and Milwaukee. Did my undergrad in Milwaukee at Marquette University, went for education and history, was planning on becoming a secondary education teacher, and then found out about planning, pivoted into this realm. Got my master's from UW-Milwaukee, have been the floodplain administrator and assistant planner in the city of Glendale, northern suburb of Milwaukee, and have now been at Vanderwall and Associates as an assistant planner for the last 2 years. And so I've worked with several different communities under other associate planners doing day-to-day zoning administration and site plan review. And I've also worked on several other types of plans, comprehensive plans, park and recreation plans, several other types of redevelopment planning initiatives.
And yep, so the legal stuff will still be, the actual resolutions or ordinance will still be either myself or another attorney will be doing those. But the vast majority of what that position does is going to be the planning portion of it, right? Having that planning background, urban planning background. I know this board, we've got 2 of our board members here tonight. Has been really sort of emphasizing, planning and redevelopment of the village and really looking for the future. And so having somebody with those planning backgrounds, they can really help us sort of shape that and really they can give suggestions. Like they've worked in many communities, in Illinois and Wisconsin. But they can help give us some of that advice ultimately, right? If you're still the ZBA, but they can absolutely help give us that sort of extra look, a little more skilled look than we may have just, generally, on some different ways of doing things and, ways of developing the village.
Some of the communities you've worked with in the past?
I currently am working in the city of Lake Geneva, city of Delavan. We work with most communities in Walworth County and a lot of communities in Dane County. That's where Madison is. I'm currently involved in a big project in Elk Grove Village, but they're basically doing a redevelopment master plan for the whole community. I'm trying to think what else. We're pretty active in Washington County, Wisconsin. As a firm, we are in about 20 different communities doing their day-to-day zoning administration like we are here. I think we're going to be a little bit more involved here than we are in some of our other communities. So you guys will get a lot more of our attention. And we've got other staff that are working in those other communities as well. What, do you want to name a few communities you do current planning?
Yeah, absolutely. Also echoing Jackie, excuse me. The communities I've worked in have also mainly been in the same counties in Wisconsin, Cross Plains, city of Monroe, Dane County, and then city of Delavan, done a little bit of work with Lake Geneva, and a couple others as well.
Good. A question regarding the process, kind of along those lines. So if somebody calls the village, they'll get Janelle. And she will basically forward or provide their contact information,
Um,
how that.
probably a little more than that. We're still working through, exactly the process, but right now, it'll probably be very similar to it is, and it has been right now, where Janelle will get that initial information, help them with those initial, here's the permits you need to provide, fill out, here's the applications you need to do. Sort of initial review when they come in, you know, we need some more information. So we're working through that portion of it, but Janelle will be doing, it'll be very similar to what we're doing right now. Where Janelle's doing sort of the initial review of everything, the initial, or at least the initial gathering of documents and discussions. But then that will be, then we'll then move on to Elias.
Years ago, I worked with Mike Slavny.
Oh,
Is he retired or?
he just
Yeah. Did
retired,
he?
2021, I want to say.
Okay,
And so, he was probably the most experienced and talented planner in Wisconsin at the time he retired, and took 4 of us to replace him, so. But we all trained under him.
yeah, a few fun projects.
Mm, great.
I was on the developer side, so it's some good debates, but he's a good guy.
All right, well, very good. Any other questions, comments? Well, welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, moving on then. Second item on the agenda is the approval of the 2024 meeting schedule for the zoning board of appeals. Looks like that is the second Wednesday of each month.
And so, again, as we're starting fresh year, we have a new consultants, new year. Generally, we approve these every year, our calendars. Does the second Wednesday of the month, as you've been currently meeting, does that still work for everybody here? I know it works for our consultants, and so I haven't really talked to all of you about that to make sure that works for everybody still. Just one thing along those lines, our goal is to have your board packet to you the Wednesday before the meeting. So essentially a week before the meeting, you should have that board packet, pretty close to that. We're aiming usually the Wednesday before, if no later than that, Friday. So you'll have a good chunk of time, ahead of time for the day of. But you'll have that, you should have that a few days in advance, but we're aiming to get everything, at least internally finalized by the Wednesday before meeting, and then, out to you the same day we sort of post that notice officially and get those out there. Also, I guess first thing I would say is, does the Wednesday work? So. Generally.
That's for me.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, so we'll keep it on those dates.
Do we need to approve that?
Yeah, we'll approve the calendar. It's in here. I was just gonna say, so we have that, other question I was having about those same lines, does email work for everybody still? We'll generally email out the board packets. I think this first board packet, I think you guys have the HTML version of it too. I think we have a PDF version that once our new website is launched, that will always be available on the website for the public and for you as well. We'll also make sure we email you the HTML version, which I think you guys got, which is a much smaller file size because you'll be able to link to them. The full packet tends to be a larger document, so I think you'll always get the HTML version. If it's not working or if there's any issues, give me a call, give Janelle a call, and we can make sure we get that for you. I think George, I think you like yours printed, no problem. We'll have it printed. Let us know.
That would work for me real well.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll have it printed up here. You can come pick it up from Janelle.
Yes.
No issue there. Also, if you want them printed before the board meeting, let me know. We can print you a paper copy. If you want one here, I think, or if you want a laptop or a tablet, I suppose we can get you a tablet too, depending on what you like. But just let us know what works best for you on that. I want to make sure you guys have access to those materials. So.
I missed the last couple of months. Did the Gmail accounts go away?
Yes.
Yes.
They're gone, okay.
Everybody
Tried to log into
has-
mine, that's good.
Oh, everybody here, okay. You
Mine's
all,
gone too.
okay, yeah, Gmail accounts went away 3 or 4 years ago. All of you do have email accounts with the village though. So, I think did everybody get an email for this one?
Yeah.
Your regular one? Okay,
Right.
if that's your personal ones, we can
Yeah.
keep doing those. You also have a village account as well. And if you would like to use that instead, I can help get those set up. Or get your passwords reset for those.
Okay.
But everybody still does have a village email account. We switched to Outlook versus
Okay.
Gmail. But a few years ago at this point, so,
Yeah. He's always sent it to this, my personal one, or the work one, so it's fine.
okay,
But-
if you're fine with those, otherwise, if you would like, it's not a problem. You already have those other accounts. We can get those password resets and give you the login pages for them and you'll be good to go. I guess just let us know what your preference is, and we'll make sure that is on the
Are
list.
those email addresses public? Like, we need to be concerned that maybe somebody from the public has emailed us and we don't have passwords?
Um, no,
We don't want
I don't think the emails are anywhere public. No,
Okay.
I don't think they're on the websites or anything, so. Good question, though. And I guess if we, and I don't know if we probably won't have them on the website. We'll have your, names and your info on the website just in general, but your terms. But we probably won't have contact information
Okay.
directly. There's no reason the public should be directly contacting the ZBA. Any of the comments and the hearing should be at this public forum, so. Yeah, good question.
What would the significance of May 8th be?
May 8th, that's the strange one. May 8th, we were looking at that one just because I don't made a decision on that one, but that is one where we're off a week. So the board meeting is on. Oh, so the board meeting is actually. The first would be on the 7th. And so usually we would have the. I guess it wouldn't matter, honestly. It's just because the timing of the week. We're trying to have the ZBA meeting in between the board meeting night and the committee meeting. But I don't think that, I guess, once I'm looking at this now, I don't know if that actually matters. So that's the board meetings on the 1st. Second would be off, so you have.
It's just red and all the rest of them.
Yeah, no, it's just we were looking at the timing on it because the first meeting of the month is the the first of the month is a Wednesday. It was just, we were trying to figure out our timing on that. I don't think we need to change those.
Sure.
If you guys would be deciding on that, I don't think we did, but now I'm looking at the calendar. Yeah, I don't think it needs to be changed on that. We were just looking at it, trying to figure out, where they would fall for timing and everything, but I think they should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. Ready to keep going, in your motion, yeah.
All right, well,
Approve that?
if everyone's okay with that, if we can get a motion to approve the calendar,
I'll make a motion to approve the calendar.
great,
I'll second.
great. All those in favor?
1 second, motion, wait,
Sorry.
wait. Sorry. I gotta pay attention to these, okay. Motion was Smith? Yes, okay, and then who was the second?
I did.
Oh, okay.
George. And I guess technically I should say any
Then,
discussion?
any discussion?
No. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Very good, motion approved.
Next, thank you.
All right, and
And the final topic tonight is the actual topic. Though it should be fairly straightforward. So. Okay,
So-
so I need to I'm doing these
all
sometimes.
right, so item number 4, which is the third item under new business, is ZBA 2024-001. Design review for approval of a 36,000 square foot building addition to All World Machinery located at 6164 All World Way. Okay. Is there anyone here to present?
There's not, no, they asked if they needed to, no, it was not necessary tonight. You've already seen this, generally have seen this plan once before. So this is for All World Machinery, which is up on. Who knows where it is, up on I-90 up there on All World Way, that's a little quick. What they're doing is they're expanding about roughly a 36,000 square foot addition onto their building, and that matches up with the current building. And it will be headed out to the east, so towards the solar fields. Make sure we sort of has an idea what we're looking for. There's the charts are in your site plan is in your packet, but whether essentially it's just going to be a building. It's going to be an additional building. It's going to add on to that same building they currently have now. It's about a third the width roughly of the current building. And that's just gonna be added on to the side, same design, same colors. It's not changing any of the landscape issues. It's not changing any of the, really any of the drainage that wasn't already planned for it. So tonight's discussion is just for design review. And we'll have a training on all this stuff later on, what all this stuff is, but I put the ordinance in for what design review is, what we're looking for. And it's essentially, you're looking for just a couple. So here. go over the whole thing. I've got that. There we go, yeah. So really, for design review, what you're looking for is. And in front of you, but it's for any alteration, enlargement, remodeling, et cetera. No permit shall be issued until this board, the ZBA, looks at the elevations, site plans, and landscape plan and approves those plans. So you're looking at those, essentially just those three issues. You've already looked at the landscape plan previously when you approved the initial project 5 or 6 years ago at this point. So that part's not really up tonight. So all you're looking for is the elevations, sort of how it attaches to the building. Does it match in there? Does it meet, it's not obnoxious, it's not, not fitting in with the area, it's not, some other, problem on that building. And you're looking at the sort of the site plan, how it sits on the property, setbacks, how it interacts with the property location, is it gonna expand all the way to the edge of the property? Is it gonna block out the whole property? Is it gonna, encroach on the neighbors? Is it gonna be, some other issues based on where it's located on that property? This is a nice one for us to look at initially because this is really, it's the same building that they already have on that property. It's just sort of pushing it out a little bit. So for the site plan portion of it, you've already approved the majority of that site plan. We reviewed it for, distances, we reviewed it for the setbacks. It's heading towards the expanded part is heading towards the solar farm out there. That solar field is all their property. It extends all the way out to that end of that location. So it's just going closer to that solar field. And so it's not anywhere close to the edge of their property at this point. My understanding is eventually they're going to be putting in another building on there, or they're going to expand additionally. At that point, that might be something we have to look a little more closely at, how it's situated on the property. But at this point, we're just pushing out, additional distance off of the building itself. So that's one thing we're looking at. And also the building itself, it's the same facade, it's the same materials as the current building, same colors. There's going to be, I think there are some, there's garage door entrances or door entrances into the building. Those will be on the same building, just expanded out a little more. So that's all staying the same, which is generally why we're recommending approval of this. It's essentially the same building, it's just going to make it slightly bigger than it currently is. I have any questions? Like you've got the information on your packets. We've also got parking. Even with the expanded size on there, they're adding additional 26 parking spaces. Sometimes parking is an issue we look at a little more closely. They already have ample parking for the number of employees they have on that property. However, even assuming that they need new parking or more parking, the additional parking spaces, 26 parking spaces they're putting on there are sufficient for our zoning code for the expanded area. It's been mostly machining in there, but they're moving their, machining company that they've purchased or acquired. We moved into that new space, so they will have new employees up there into that location on the main floor is where the machine rooms will be, and there's also like a testing room and a restroom on a mezzanine layer they have as well, level they have as well. So there'll just be that additional areas. As part of
The landscaping has already been approved.
yeah, they haven't changed any of that. They're pushing out into the grass area. There's grass behind the building where they're expanding into. That will all be replaced the same. That won't change at all. So it'll be the same. And then they're expanding, sort of mirroring the parking lot will be additionally be a curb and gutter on there. They're adding a few spaces as part of that as well. But
Do you know how big the current building is?
96,000 square feet.
So,
It's 96,000 square feet, but there's also, I think it's a little bigger than that because I forgot exactly, but it's got 2 stories and it's got a mezzanine in the current building as well. But the majority of the current building is 1 story, just it's a tall building, but they also have their offices there. So they've got a portion of that building, it's got their offices on first and second floor, as well as sort of a mezzanine area out front where the old world sign is. They've got sort of an open lobby area there as well. But yeah, approximately a little over 96,000 square feet for the current building. Any questions?
I have one.
quick comment in one moment. But, yeah, before we move forward with the design review. So then I'd ask, if we can entertain a motion to approve the design review for the, overwear edition.
Okay. Could we get a motion to approve?
You want to hear?
Do we do
Comments?
public comment first?
We'll give public comment next.
Okay.
Yeah, or we'll business and public comment. We'll just stick to our,
Okay.
stick to our agenda on it. Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Right.
I'll second it.
Motion approved was Wagaman, and second was.
All right, so do you want us to do a roll call vote on this one?
Yes, we could.
Okay, let's do a roll call vote then.
Durstock,
Yes.
Luch.
Yes.
Hugland,
Yes.
Mead,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Swanson,
Abstain.
and, Wakeman.
Yes.
Right.
All right, motion approved, motion passes. I guess before we get to public comment. There's order. That's it for new business. Let's go. Is there any old business at all? All right, then on to public comment.
My name is Susan Petty. And I have a question, and that is, do you anticipate, Joe, any problems with the parking lot?
I don't, I guess what, I mean, anything specific? It's gonna be curb and gutter.
Well, when they built their original building, there were problems.
I think when they built the original building, they requested to have a waiver
Yes.
that was denied. So the way they design it is for curb and gutter. It's just expanding out their current parking lot, sending it out the same materials, with curb and gutter. So it will have curb and gutter now.
I did hear you say that, but
Yeah.
folks, it was
There was an annexation, I think I'm mentioning in the staff report, there was an annexation agreement that this was part of, and that was definitely part of the discussions with the annexation. As we negotiated through, they had to have curb and gutter, and that was required for them, and they did build this with curb and gutter.
But it looked like the satellite image showed their parking lots on the west side along I-90 there, right, most of it.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming they're just gonna expand that north of it.
I think the expanded parking is. So the I-90 is on, here's all the way.
So
I can show you, but
on
yeah.
the west side of the building, and if they're expanding towards that, they're gonna expand to the west.
Yeah, sorry, I had that backwards, you're right, it's on the solar farm's on the west side along
It's like the
Willowbrook.
northwest. isn't it?
Well,
So on the
yeah.
east side of the building, is the parking lot, the main part of the parking lot.
The east part, yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yep, and they're gonna be adding on, a couple stalls onto the south of the building where it currently is. It's,
Okay.
they're adding the parking spaces, essentially in the parking lot where it currently is for the most part. There are some open spaces in there that they're adding into. And then some additional paving as well to the south, east of it.
Hope that answers your question.
And how many stalls do they have now? 26, did you say?
It's,
26 is what they're adding.
26 they're adding, they have currently. I can pull it for you. Yeah, I can get you if you're trying, or just, there are 26 stalls on here. Yeah, I'm not right in front of me.
Yeah, I've got it here, Joe.
Oh, do you have it right there?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
on the.
It's on the
color.
page,
Yeah, it looks like existing is 84,
There we go. Yeah,
proposed to be 110.
yeah. Yeah, it's on the drawing that you provided. We have that.
Okay. Very good. Any other public comments? All right. Well, if there's no old business, there's no more new business, no more public comment, then I guess we are done. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, meeting adjourned.
Thank you. Good job.
I know, good job.
Good job. What do you do?
Thanks. Yeah, good job, Laura. Good job, Laura.
I was not gonna get wrong.
And Laura's like really ready to buy. It's like, all right, you got a nice topic. Here we go. Let's go. You know, I love
Your meetings are on the website.
Yeah. So where
I
do
do
you
all
have that new website?
interviews.
You want
Fire life thing.
shortly? And it will have a tour. Yeah, it'll have,
it.
so it will have a page with all the meetings,
Yeah.
it's like much easier to get to.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna wait.
Meeting for anything?